when you spend a lot of time down here in the South, basically from Tennessee, Kentucky onward, the Civil War, I mean, this is a no-brainer for folks that watch my channel that are from the South or know a lot about this, but, you know, I grew up in California, I've said that many times, and then I live in the Northland, you know, and the Civil War stuff is really doesn't seep into our psyche and our bones like it does with Southerners, and it kind of starts to become apparent when you spend some time down here and you see what the South immortalizes and values and enshrines or deems to be historical value, if that makes sense. And this would be a good example of that. There's Civil War graves and monuments and plaques everywhere. Good morning, guys and gals. We are in Beaufort, South Carolina. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm going to turn the phone around and show you what we're doing today. We came into this little side river. I will show you on the Navionics when I make this video. Nice little spot. It's about 11 feet of water at high tide, 8 feet at low tide. And there is a public dock right up there that's fairly close to gas and the Publix. We walked there last night. I'm going to get gas later today, top up the tanks. Wavey knows something's up. We are going to, let me take you back to the back here. I've decided we are going to take the kayak over to that dock because we're going to leave it all day and I just don't want the Portland Pudgy to go missing. We're going to walk across this bridge here. I think that's downtown over there. I see a church steeple sticking up, and oftentimes that means a beautiful old church that's worth looking at. And yeah, just let randomness kind of rule the day. And we get a lot of walking in today, so let's see what we find. Stay tuned.
Well, what are you waiting for? I'm coming to get ya. Jeez, screaming. Always screaming at me. Like I'd ever leave you. Like I'd ever go anywhere without you. Okay, load up.
Fun that followed us up to the dock here, and Wavey's going nuts. Look at this. Oh, right there. It just keeps breaching. Let's do it again. Yeah, there we go. Wavey almost flipped us in the kayak. She got so excited. So awesome. I know. What are you going to do? Go ride a dolphin? I forgot the leash on the boat. I do that sometimes. So I have a couple of shoestrings that I tied together. I think that's going to be our leash today. This is one of those twist bridges, or there's a name for it, the ones that turn sideways to let sailboats and stuff through. And people, drivers always, I'm sure, like, oh man. I always feel bad when they don't really have to do it for us, but one time they did it for us up in Houghton, Hancock. They lifted the bridge and all this traffic was built. It was backed up, and I just felt so bad. I felt like it was holding up people's entire days just for us. It wasn't a sailboat this time, it was a trawler. Wait, it wasn't that trawler. I thought the bridge was high enough to accommodate that trawler. It was a sailboat. Those sailors. Well, at least it was for two sailboats. Advantage number 39 on shanty boats. They hardly ever have to move bridges for you. We are out of coffee on board. I've got just a little bit left, so I'm looking for a place that sells a bag of good coffee. I'll spend a few more bucks on a pound of good freshly ground coffee. I watched a video where a guy said that if you get pre-ground coffee, oftentimes you just get a bunch of sawdust as filler in there. And I don't doubt it. I think this is the ticket. They only had a couple of bags of pre-ground coffee and it was 25 bucks a bag. I don't think so. I'll read this to you real quick. Beaufort, second oldest town in South Carolina, authorized by the Lords Proprietors, December 20th, 1710, chartered January 17th, 1711, laid out prior to February 16th, 1777, incorporated by the state December 17th, 1803. That is an old city. First Presbyterian Church, continued from the other side. I'm such a terrible tour guide. We'll just blame the beagle. First Presbyterian Church. Early attempts to establish a Presbyterian church in Beaufort in the 1740s and 1880s were unsuccessful. The first permanent congregation was founded in 1912 by 16 charter members. In 1921, when it acquired this lot, Reverend A.P. Toomer put up a sign with the Old Testament verse, "The people had a mind to work." This colonial revival church, built in 1928 and 29, was designed by architect James H. Sams, 1872 to 1935. Notable architectural features include simple clapboard siding and clear arched windows. Members completed the interior with Reverend F.B. Mays, minister from 1925 to 1949, as chief carpenter and elder J.W. Logan in charge. The 1947-48 chancel arches were built by the craftsmen who built the U.S. Naval Hospital. In 1988, First Presbyterian gave funds and members to help found Sea Island Presbyterian Church. St. Helena's Church. This Episcopal parish was established by Act of Assembly June 7, 1712. Wow. The first known rector, William Guy, conducted early worship services in homes of settlers. The parish suffered greatly during the 1715 Yamasee Indian attack. Constructed the present building in 1724, enlarged in 1817 and 1842, and was given communion silver in 1734 by John Bull, a captain in the militia. According to local tradition, on the other side, church was used by British to stable horses during the Revolution and as a hospital in the Civil War. In 1823, Dr. Joseph R. Walker became rector, serving 55 years, during which time at least 25 parishioners entered the ministry. Among those buried in the churchyard are 2 British officers, 3 American generals, and 17 ministers of the gospel. In 1962, Parish House served the community for various functions. Just this place alone is worth walking across the bridge to come look at. Incredible. 1700s. Some of these graves are in the 1700s. Stephen Elliott Jr., Brigadier General, CSA, born October 26, 1830, Beaufort, South Carolina. Captain Beaufort, Volunteer Artillery, 1861. Captain, 11th South Carolina Volunteers, 1861. Chief of Artillery, South Carolina, 3rd Military District, 1862. Commanded the defense of Fort Sumter, 1863. Promoted Brigadier General, 1864. Counterattacked after heavy loss in Battle of the Crater, 1864. Died February 21st, 1866 in Atkin, South Carolina. I'm reading these a little more here. His wife is also buried right next to him. Beside this stone rests also the body of Sarah Means Stewart, daughter of Anne Means and Henry Middleton Stewart, and wife of William Elliott. She was born in Beaufort, September 21st, 1846, and died in Columbia, November 16th, 1939. In my father's house are many mansions. Here's a good example. In memory of Benjamin Wilkins, Lieutenant, South Carolina Militia, Revolutionary War, 1744, killed February 4th, 1779, killed at the Battle of Gray's Hill. Richard Huron Anderson, Lieutenant General, Confederate States of America. Born in Statesburg. Well, there are a lot of ranking officers of the Civil War on the Confederate side in this cemetery. Colonel John Barnwell. I could live in something like that. Okay guys, well this is open and I have not seen anything saying dogs aren't allowed. I don't know if it's going to be disrespectful or not. I'm just going to pop in and just kind of look. I know they have a security system in here too. I don't know if anybody's... Oh, okay. There's actually people in there doing kind of a service or a tour. If I just do things the official way, I could just do a tour and be showing you guys all the stuff you get from a tour, but I'm a dirtbag traveler. Sorry, this is what you get. The dollar store beagle tour. Here lie the bodies of Lieutenant William Calderwood and Ensign John Finley of Colonel Prevost British troops killed in battle near Gray's Hill, February 3rd, 1779. Buried here, February 5th, 1779. Rest in peace. Grand Army of the Republic Hall. Continue from the other side. Let's go. Let's go. No sandbagging, Beagle. Come on. Let's go. Well, good morning, guys and gals. We left Beaufort, South Carolina this morning. We had 1 day delay. I went to leave yesterday and the motor wouldn't start. Everything was totally dead and it was a bit of a mystery. But after, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours of kind of poking around, realizing it's probably electrical, I found a frayed battery cable that passes through the hull, and it just slowly over time wore, so it was not connecting, and I snipped it out, put a couple of butts, and bolted it back together, and also changed the spark plugs in the motor just while I was at it. So yeah, a little bit of a maintenance day. Cleaned the interior of the boat while I had everything pulled out. I need one of those 12-volt vacuums. That would just be great. I mean, it feels kind of decadent, and like getting all the dog hair out of the corners and stuff, the dust bunnies. But yeah, so we are. There's lots of distance between Beaufort and Charleston, but I would say that's kind of our next destination. You know, we're just kind of slowly cruising along, and it's really hot today. This is probably the hottest day that I think we've experienced in the entire Great Loop so far. I would guess it's high 80s and humid. So yep, we got all the windows open, doors open, and we're just cruising along at 6 miles an hour at the moment, slack tide. So I'll just keep looking for stuff that's worthy to show you. South Carolina, ICW. Stay tuned. Good morning, guys and gals. Let me show you where we ended up this morning. How and why. That was a muddy spot. All right, well, down here in the Carolinas and Georgia, it can be hard in some of these stretches to find a place to take a wavy to shore. But I think we did pretty good. We're learning that these shell, I don't know what you would call it, a shell beach. This one's really good because it drops off quick, so we're sitting in 4 feet of water back there, so I can just back right off. We are about, I would say 10-15 miles from Charleston, South Carolina. It's up that direction. There's a couple of loopers. You can see one out there anchored. There's a sailboater we just passed over here somewhere. But yeah, this is what we're doing. This is how you do it. Sunday, April 21st, I think. And kind of hot and muggy. It probably looks cold on the screen, or it looks cool, I should say, but it's actually kind of hot and muggy. And we are heading up the coast. That's what we're doing. It's probably not very exciting, but I just, you know, when you do your loop and you do it on a budget, like we're doing it, and you can't find a dock or something like that, I should say, I'll turn the phone around for a minute. It has been surprising that there's not a lot of public docks. There's a lot of docks, there's a lot of private docks, but public docks can be hard to find in certain parts of the country here. We're finding once we've hit the East Coast here, it can be hard to go to shore unless you get really creative. So not to discourage you, not to complain, it's just an observation. I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to get to shore one way or another, even if you, I would almost consider it a God-given right to be able to take your beagle to shore. I've already seen, hey, what are you wiping it? Why are you always finding the stinkiest stuff to wipe in? Beagle, stop. I know, and there's probably, who knows what's out here. I do kind of check, you know, like make sure I'm not seeing any eyeballs sticking out or something, but what can you do, guys? What can you do? American Waterways Wind Orchestra is what that boat says on it. I don't know what the story is with that. We're gonna go over here for a second. Let's get a closer look. I know I have viewers that are really good at research. Maybe you could figure this out. It's right out. It's a little bit south of Charleston. I'll put on the screen here when I make this video where this is, and it says American Waterways Wind Orchestra, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Easy gas. I wanted to go that route. Okay, guys and gals. So we are in Charleston, South Carolina, which is a pretty big city. And we anchored at a little spot that we saw on Navionics. I'll show you on the map. And it's probably been a while since I've showed you a little trip to town to take care of our thises and that's, like fuel and food and stuff. So I'm just going to take you along. We're going to dinghy to shore, and I'll show you, not tell you. So I'm going to launch the dinghy. There's a bridge over there. I'll tell you what bridge it is. Just kind of give you an idea that where we are in relation to like the city proper. Downtown's that direction. Well, my attempt to take you guys on a little gas run. It was raining so hard that I couldn't pull the camera out with it getting wet, and I couldn't run the screen. I couldn't even look at the maps. We got lost. Lost back in a neighborhood. In the rain, soaking wet. Wavy got a bath. I got a bath. Maybe see up there my shirt and my shorts soaked. So, did laundry too. How efficient. All the things we got done. So, Charleston, South Carolina. We're hanging out on the hook. You spoiled animal. Good morning, guys and gals. I am going to show you what we're doing this morning. We're here in Charleston. I think some folks might get a little bit of value out of this. It's just kind of it's another, how do you do things on your own instead of, the easy way, like pulling up to a marina and they pump your gas, and, how do you get food and stuff without, well, I'll just turn the phone around and I'll try to explain it, and I'll try to do it fairly quickly. Okay, so we anchored, I'm going to show you. This is Charleston right here. Okay, it's a big city, and it can be hard, every little square inch of, congested areas. So what we did is we anchored out here. Now, Navionics told us about it, which is nice, and it's been a good spot. And we go over to this bridge over here, which I'll try to show you in real life here. There's that bridge right there. But there is this area right here. It's probably just not developed. There's nice houses up this creek and along the shoreline and stuff, but and then there's Highway 17 right here, which has all the stuff we're looking for, like a grocery store and gas stations and stuff. Now, we went to the gas station yesterday, and it was pouring rain, and I didn't get a lot of footage because I don't want my phone to get wet and possibly ruined, But in between where we're anchored right here in that bridge where I can leave my dinghy, it's hard to get, I'd say almost impossible to get up to Highway 17. There's a neighborhood right here, but you got to walk along the shoreline right here. There's a road, Wapu Road, I think it's called, and there's no sidewalk. So it's stressful. Probably shouldn't even be doing it. But what I've discovered last night studying the map a little bit is I can eventually get up into this neighborhood, and I get into like a green path, which is actually a walking trail. Those are great. And I can walk on a walking trail to the Whole Foods grocery store, and I could even go get more gas if I needed to. I don't need to. I've got enough now. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Wavy Gravy. She can tell something's up. Take her for her nice walk in a little neighborhood. Then I'm going to bring her back to the boat. because I don't think Whole Foods will let you in. I'm sorry, Publix will, but I don't think Whole Foods will. I'm going to take this opportunity quickly to just show you our ice co has been fantastic. I don't know how we were getting by without it. I've got some odds and ends in there, but I'm going to fill up this side here. This is the fridge side. Working great, keeping everything the right temperature. I'm going to try to get a few things to put in the freezer side, like some more meat. I've got cheese, but I think we're out of meat, so some chicken, maybe a steak or two if we can find a good deal. And fill up our ice co, and this thing has been awesome. We've got a discount link in the description below. It's Wavey. I'll put it on the screen for you. So I'll tell you, I mean, you will not see me talking about anything on this channel unless it's working and actually filling a very important niche. And this ice co has been fantastic. Can you guys see the full moon? Good morning, guys and gals. So Wavey and I left Charleston, or we're kind of leaving our spot that we've been at for a couple days, and we're going through Charleston here. And we're going to try to stop at a lighthouse that's on the north entrance to the ICW. I'll show you on the map. I don't have really high hopes that we'll find a place to stop. They do not make it easy. But if we can, we will, and we'll try to get some close-ups of it. Looks like a very interesting lighthouse, very unique, a unique shape. It rained yesterday and it cleaned all the windows. I didn't even have to go out there and clean them. We can see out again. It's wonderful. For those that like boats, like I like boats, or let's just say the boats that I like, you'll love the little Ranger Tug 21s. If you've never seen one, check it out. Absolutely cute as a button. The perfect lines. Downtown Charleston looks like a beautiful place to explore. I've never been there, on land or otherwise. I don't know if we're going to be able to stop and take a closer look. Might be one of those places we'll have to come back to someday. So we are going from there into here. It's the re-entering of the intercoastal. We're getting into a little bit of some rough stuff here. I think the tide's coming in. We got a dolphin sighting. A couple of them. Come on, guys. There they are. There they are. There they are. If you know what kind of boat that is, could you comment below, please? I think it's a shrimper, but it could be something else. Alright, guys. We made it across the bay. This is what it looks like. It starts to get calm in here, which is nice. It's an absolutely gorgeous day today, about 65 degrees. Not hot and not cold. Just right. I am feeling so blessed today to be out here on the Great Loop. Some days it just hits you. It's going to be over before I know it. In some ways it feels like I've been out here for 10 years. In some ways it feels like it was just yesterday. It's just so weird. Time out of mind. And there's that lighthouse, and you can see that right there. Wonder if we'll be able to get up close to it. We're gonna find out. I don't believe we'll be able to get close enough to it, guys, or find a place close enough to anchor, because it goes up around this spit here and it's all residential. But I will put a link in the description for some information on this lighthouse if you're interested. Nice little Sea Dory 22 cruiser there. A long day of just cruising along at 4.5 miles an hour or so. Getting good gas mileage. And this is what central coastal South Carolina looks like. Very rural, very natural, lowlands. Been seeing some dolphins, but I keep missing them. We might get another chance. We are about halfway between Charleston and Georgetown. So probably it's getting towards the end of the day. We'll probably find a place to anchor here pretty soon. But it's just such ideal conditions. I decided today was a good transit day. So I'll probably go till about an hour before dark. Hopefully find a good place. And then we'll just get to Georgetown tomorrow. Hopefully. So got to start picking and choosing where we're going to stop and look a little deeper, you know, because I've got about 6 weeks or so before I got to start thinking about getting home and working on summer projects and stuff. So sounds like a long time, but we still have quite a ways to go. So
the sailor he roamed with his beagle by his side on a shanty boat of dreams, crossed the rivers wide with the wind in his sails and the stars in the sky. They wandered the waters where freedom did lie. Yo, the river's deep and wide where the beagle and the sailor will.
Yes, everybody sniffed my hand, so we're all friends. Yeah, see?